Hello and welcome to another episode of Football Talk Podcast. My name is Ozzie and I'm your host for today's show. It's been such a long time since we've done an episode. I actually almost forgot I had an episode. Joking. But yeah, great to be back. Games are coming through thick and fast right now, especially in the Premier League and the Champions League as well. So let's start the episode with a roundup of the Champions League games. And we'll start off with the British teams that were taking part. So the first game we'll speak about is Benfica versus Liverpool. So my thoughts on the game. I think Liverpool started off the game very well. They were comfortable in possession, 2-0 at halftime. So pretty much a professional performance, the standard we had expected. But once Benfica got that consolation goal, I think the momentum went towards Benfica. You could see the fans were really up for it. They were just very fiery in terms of the atmosphere in the crowd there, and I feel like that had an effect on the Liverpool team. Seemed quite edgy, quite nervous on the ball. They weren't playing with any sort of fluidity whatsoever. So there was a spell, probably about 20 minutes in the second half, where Liverpool just weren't able to find the right gear to take that next step. But eventually, Luis Diaz was able to get the third goal, which I'm sure he enjoyed scoring against his old rivals from his Porto days. Overall, the game itself, the win, I think that's what was needed. 3-1 scoreline as well. It's a good one to take to Anfield in the second leg. I actually think we could have scored more goals. There are a couple chances where on one-on-one situations we should have done better, but nevertheless, I think we didn't play to our capability. So considering that, I think this is a great result to take into the next round. So yeah, confident that we will progress into the semis. Fingers crossed anyway. Second one is Man City versus Atletico Madrid. So this was always going to be a difficult task for Man City in terms of scoring lots of goals, as Atletico are not built to play in an open manner. They're there to stop the opposition. And it was actually Phil Foden who was the impact sub that came on, added a sort of different dimension to the right side of Man City's wing, where his trickery and directness definitely played a part in the goal. And he obviously gave the assist to Kevin De Bruyne, who's been on fire in recent weeks. So for me, that's a good result for Man City as well. I think they'll feel quite confident going into the second leg, but as it's in Atletico, you never know. The crowd may play a part in terms of the atmosphere, but I feel like City have enough quality to get through the line and get through to the next round as well. So a good win for Man City there. And then you've got Chelsea versus Real Madrid. Probably a surprise result for a lot of people. Benzema scoring a hat-trick, 2 fantastic headers. For me, he's been one of the best strikers for a long, long time. I think he's very underrated. He's only getting his plaudits now because a lot of people would say that in the past he was in the shadows of Ronaldo as the talisman of the team. But if you watch how Benzema plays, the complete forward, in my opinion, Klopp describes Firmino as a 9.5. Benzema for me is like a 9.5 as well, in terms of that he plays like a number 9 and a number 10. He's so great on the ball in terms of his link-up play, technical ability, can do everything. And in terms of finishing, scored 2 headers. Headering is not sort of like a popular trait with a lot of the strikers in the modern game, and he can do it with ease. And he's great with his left foot and right foot. So for me, he's been on fire this season, and already talks of him getting a Ballon d'Or. For me, it would be fully deserved, in my opinion. So yeah, he was definitely unsung during that game. Chelsea, unfortunately, just were below par. Just like their weekend fixture against Brentford, they just haven't hit the grounds running whatsoever. A little bit surprised in terms of how Tuchel was after the game, in terms of his comments, basically dismissing the chances of Chelsea progressing. I know he's frustrated, and I know he's not happy with the level of performances from his team. But there's a different way of sort of communicating that to the public. Yes, we like managers to be transparent, but at the same time, you still have to have a bit of faith in your squad. what he could have said was that if we play to our capability, we have a chance. But he didn't go far to even say that. So he's pretty much just said, yeah, we're out of the tie. So let's see how much of an effect that has on the team if they're able to kind of switch the button there and turn on in then the second leg. But it remains to be seen. I feel like Real Madrid are favourites the way they played, and it's at the Bernabeu, so it looks like advantage is for Real Madrid at this stage. So we'll speak about the Premier League now. A lot of fixtures have taken place. It was an extra long week in the match week 31. The first fixture, one of the surprise results was Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. So what a result for the Eagles. Definitely a surprise, but for me, they executed the game plan perfectly. They were very aggressive in terms of attacking from the front, and more importantly, very clinical in front of goal. They didn't have a lot of chances during the game. Arsenal, for me, had a very poor first half, and they just seemed to be off the pace. 2 assists from Anderson. So for me, one of top signings for Palace. He had a great stint at Fulham last season. So not surprised in terms of his quality as a player. But in this game, 2 assists from him. Great pass for the second goal to Ayew, which was a good finish as well. Zaha was able to top off a great performance with his penalty late on in the game. So overall, Palace fully deserved that win. I don't think there's any questions regarding the outcome. In terms of Arsenal and their hunt for that top 4 position, for me, this defeat probably hurts a little bit more as Tottenham were able to take that 4th spot during the weekend after their win against Newcastle. But I think it's a small setback. Arsenal need to have a different state of mind and just forget about the defeat and move on and have a more of a positive attitude. Just take it as one of those games where, we've lost, but, on to the next one sort of thing. Arsenal still have a game in hand, let's not forget. And both North London teams actually play against each other in a few weeks' time. I believe it's on the 12th of May. So, yeah, for me, it's a slight setback, but it's not end of the world. They just have to keep moving, and hopefully they have better luck in their next fixture. Just got a comment here from Madison Smith. Should Arsenal fans be concerned? I feel concerned. This team lack goals. Yeah, that is a concern in terms of the goals, because one of the points I made, especially in the January transfer window, was the loss of Aubameyang. I know he had his issues with Arteta, but there was no player incoming to replace him. So Lacazette hasn't been prolific. He does have good moments in games, but for me, he's not consistent enough. And Nketiah, for me, isn't to that level, in my opinion. A good young striker, but I don't think he's ready to take that mantle and lead the line for Arsenal Football Club. So you look at the squad, who else would go in that position? You've got Pepe, who plays in the right wing. Could he do a job? I'm not too sure, in my opinion. You've got Martinelli. Out of all of the players in the squad, I think Martinelli could be the person that can lead the line, and then you have Smith Rowe playing on the left-hand side. That might be a solution for the next fixture. But yeah, the lack of goals is a concern, but I feel like we've got Odegaard playing right now, who is offering a lot of creativity. The goals will come. It won't be a huge volume of goals per game, but it should be enough for you guys to get the win. And that's the key right now. It's not really about performances. It's about nicking the odd goal here and there and getting as many points as possible and claim that 4th spot position. Another comment from Madison Smith. Also, with the Arsenal performance and the Spurs performance over the weekend, there was a 7 goal difference swing. Yeah, that could play a part. I guess obviously the North London derby will be an important one. If you're able to get the win for that fixture there, the momentum goes towards you guys, and I think there's only a couple of fixtures after that. So look, Arsenal, for me, I've tipped them from quite a few months now. I feel like they will get top 4. Yes, you've got Spurs breathing behind your back, but still a lot to play for, in my opinion. It's not all set in stone in terms of they'll get the win, because they've been very inconsistent as well this season. So it's definitely made the top four exciting. Obviously not for you because you're an Arsenal fan, but for the neutral, it's very hard to call. I think one day you might think it's Arsenal, the next day it might be Tottenham, just depending on how the team's perform on each match week. So remains to be seen what the outcome is for that. The next fixture is, let's put it on for you guys, Liverpool and Watford. So I would say professional win for the Reds there. At that stage, they were able to claim the win and take top spot for a couple of hours before Man City obviously won their fixture against Burnley. I don't think this was a great performance from Liverpool, in my opinion. First half, we looked assured, looked comfortable in possession. Great assist by Joe Gomez, who was starting in place of Trent Alexander-Arnold. Very much that type of ball that Trent would probably provide week in, week out. So nice moment for Joe Gomez there, who's not played as many games as he probably would have liked. But whenever he comes on, he does a great job for the team. So happy for him in terms of how he performed there. Second half, he definitely lacked a bit of purpose in our play, wasteful with the ball. Watford had their moments in terms of pressing from the top, but they didn't really trouble the Liverpool defence, in my opinion. For me, Thiago was fantastic in this game and deserved to be man of the match. Moved the ball really quickly with great purpose and intent. And I feel like he's really grown this season in terms of his performance. He's more consistent. Can have that odd moment where he overplays it a little bit, does a bit of step overs here and there, and loses the ball a couple of times. But in terms of the quality of his play and the variation of his passing, it's definitely helped Liverpool sort of play a different type of football, especially going up top. So at this stage for me, and I'll be honest, it's not really about how well you play. It's about gaining as many points as possible. And we certainly did that in this game. Obviously, big game this weekend that could define the rest of our season. So a lot of fans are nervous. I'm excited to see how that game goes. You got to enjoy these moments. We're in all competitions right now. Obviously, in the next couple of weeks, might have a different tone of voice, but as fans, you have to be excited in terms of the next fixtures coming up. So, fingers crossed that the Reds are victorious over the weekend. Next fixture, for me, the surprise result was Chelsea versus Brentford. Not sure what to say on this one. The Palace result was a surprise result, but this result is no different. I can't believe the scoreline. Unbelievable win from Brentford there. Chelsea were just below par. They were second to everything, and Brentford capitalized on Chelsea's off day. And it didn't start off that way. Really got to open the scoreline with a great long shot, hitting the post and going in. But Jan out made sure Brentford got their headlines during this fixture. 2 great goals from him. Great left foot on him as well. Lovely strike for the first goal. Eriksen on the score sheet, which is lovely to see. Great to see him back on the pitch, playing consecutively as well, and also played for Denmark during the international break. So, yeah, I think everyone's got a soft spot for Eriksen in terms of his return to playing football again. And Wissa was able to score later on to get the 4th goal. So, as I mentioned earlier on in terms of the Champions League roundup, unfortunately, Chelsea's form continued into the Champions League against Real Madrid. And Tuchel has been quite transparent in terms of his team's performances and what they need to do. For me, it's a tricky one because I feel like there is probably a bit of unrest in the locker room right now. But still a lot to play for. They can still mount a challenge for the Champions League. Obviously, first spot is not completely set in stone right now, so they still have to play for that. And they've got FA Cup as well, I believe, haven't they? So it's not all. And the season hasn't ended for Chelsea, so Spurs need to be a bit more different now. We're all entitled to off games here and there, and it's maybe because of the longer international break as well. Players probably a bit unrest in terms of fitness and fatigue, so it does play a part. But I'm sure Chelsea will be back firing all cylinders in no time at all. Got another comment here from Madison Smith. There was a report that stated that the Everton board had an emergency meeting regarding Lampard. I don't know if that is true, but can you see them moving off of him soon? If I'm honest, I would be very, very surprised if they do that at this stage. And I'm only saying that because I know they haven't notched up a lot of wins, but the performances have improved in the last couple of weeks. So I think it would be ridiculous if they decided to move him on now. Because who would they get? If they gave the job to Duncan Ferguson, they could have done that in the first place. So I think they have to stick to their guns. If they have an emergency meeting, it's literally a panic moment within the board, and it probably shows you the leadership of that club, and it's lacking right now, and it's quite clear to see. So I'd be very surprised if Lampard is dismissed. He's still got he's got 7 games to play, or 7 weeks to go in terms of the Premier League. So yeah, very surprised. Let's see if there's any truth to that story. But yeah, it will definitely be a shock if he was dismissed at this stage of the season. And then on to the next game, Tottenham versus Newcastle. So, well, obviously the scoreline speaks volumes there. What a win for Spurs. And the good thing about the scoreline was that the goals came from all over the pitch. It wasn't just Harry Kane or Son scoring the goals. So it didn't start off well for Spurs, as Fabian Schär was able to score a very clever executed free kick. By my opinion, I think Lloris should have done better, as it was towards his direction, and he did get a fingertip to it, so I think he should have made a better save there. The goal actually came from their fullback. So Davis got one, Doherty, Emerson Royale, and then you've got the 2 attackers in Son and Bergwijn on the score sheet as well. So Spurs are not backing down right now. A couple of weeks ago, I was saying they were back in the top 4 race, and they pretty much are, to be fair. They are 4th position right now. I truly believe this will go to the wire. It will go to the last fixture. I don't think there will be a big gap between Tottenham and Arsenal, let's say, before the last fixture. I think it'll be neck and neck. Who will get it? My hats are for Arsenal, but it can go either way. I think it's literally these 2 are the teams that are playing for that 4th spot. I don't think West Ham are able to mount a serious challenge right now. United have dropped off dramatically, so I don't see them doing anything anytime, any soon. But yeah, definitely interesting for a neutral regarding that top 4 race. And speaking of a race, we've got the current champions and the team at the top of the league right now, Man City versus Burnley. So City, momentarily displays from top spot from Liverpool, who won during the midday kickoff. But they started the game in rampant form. Lovely half volley from Kevin De Bruyne, smashed it in top corner. Lovely goal to start off the game. And then the second goal, lovely pass from Sterling to Gundogan, who scored pretty much by just kicking the ball on target. Pope should have done a lot better. Poor attempt to try and save it. I don't know what he was doing. His stance looked like he was trying to stop a cricket ball. Absolutely ridiculous. But yeah, it is what it is, I guess. But another win for the City Blues there. Title race, as I said, is heating up, and all to play for this weekend's fixture against Liverpool. Is it the sort of title defining match for me? I don't think it is. I think if Liverpool win, the momentum is there for them, as they're not chasing anymore. They'll be the ones that are leading the race. If City wins, Liverpool just have to keep going, in my opinion. I will be doing a match preview tomorrow, so I can speak about the fixture in more detail. But at this stage, it's literally a flip of a coin. It could be anyone. It could be a draw, which wouldn't surprise me, if I'm being honest with you. So, yeah, exciting next few days. I think the nerves will start building up, especially as a Liverpool fan on Sunday. But yeah, raring to go and see how both teams perform on Sunday. And the final game that I'll be reviewing is Manchester United versus Leicester City. So a point for the Red Devils, but it actually could have gone the other way. Controversial VAR decision where Madison scored late on in the game, but the goal was ruled out as Varane was fouled by Iheanacho. For me, soft decision. I understand why it was given, but I feel like it wasn't enough to kind of disregard that goal. Let me know your opinion. That's just my thoughts on that decision there. But back to the game in terms of the beginning. Iheanacho opened the scoreline with a great diving header. De Gea did get a hand to it, but I feel like it was a quite hard executed header, so a bit of a difficult one for him to save. And then you had Fred equalizing by hitting the ball in the roof of the net. So 1-1 scoreline, and De Gea produces a worldy save from Fofana's header. And what a save it was. I think that save pretty much kept United in the game. Overall, I think Leicester probably deserved the win and would probably feel hard done by in terms of that late VAR decision. But, you know, good win, good point for United. And back to United, and there's a lot of news circulating right now regarding the appointment of Ten Hag. Well, potential appointment, as it's not official yet, of being appointed as the new Manchester United manager. My thoughts on the speculation, if there is any truth to the story, I think he is a fantastic appointment. I always thought he was destined to be the Man City manager as Pep's successor. As you know, if you know Ten Hag's history, he was one of the coaches for Pep in Bayern Munich. So they share same philosophy in terms of how to play the game. But with regards to Manchester United, I think he's the right man to take Manchester United forward. However, things need to be set up before he arrives. So they definitely need a sporting director or director of football. It's the same job, it's just different titles. Haven't really heard any news regarding who that person would be. But just to put it out there, why not go for Van der Sar, who's the current sporting director at Ajax? Obviously, former United player, former legend as well. I'm not sure if he would leave Ajax at this stage, as he's doing a fantastic job there. And obviously, with regards to like personal, like family and being settled there, he might not want to relocate right now. But my point is, they need to get a football person in place to be that sporting director, and not rely on people like Ed Woodward in the back to do the sort of the negotiations and all that sort of stuff. They need someone like that kind of figure who shares the same vision as Ten Hag and his style of play and his philosophy. I think a lot of people are trying to say Ragnick was involved in this appointment. I actually don't think he has any involvement in the selection for the next Manchester United manager. Remember, his title is a consultant. He's not really, he's just there to give advice. He's not there to do anything further. And Ragnick and Ten Hag have a different football philosophy. Ragnick likes to play aggressive pressing from the front, Gergen press as they like to call it. And Ten Hag likes to play from the back, but is very tactical and is very technically driven in terms of how the team is set up. And it's possession football. So two different styles there, in my opinion there. So yeah, I wouldn't read too much in terms of Ragnick's influence. I don't think he has much influence in the next appointment. But United fans, let me know what you guys think. Is he the right man to lead Manchester United? Are you excited by this speculation, or do you think he's not the right person to take Manchester United? And maybe United should have gone for Poch, who's been the man linked with the job for a number of years now. So drop a comment or leave a comment after this video. Let me know what you guys think. I've got another comment here from Madison Smith. What a time to be a Liverpool fan. They can still win all of the trophies, plus Everton likely getting relegated. Yeah, I think you've hit the nail there. What a time to be a Liverpool fan. I wouldn't go far and say, we're going to win the quadruple or anything like that. Because one defeat can kind of just kill that that dream right there. But the fact that we're in the title race, Champions League is looking good as well. We've got the Carabao Cup in the bag, and we're in the FA Cup as well. So, yeah. And Everton, doing pretty awful right now. And I have to be honest, I'll speak as a neutral. I just don't see them getting out of it. I think they will get relegated. Burnley, who beat Everton yesterday, which is an important win. If Everton got the win there, that would have shifted the momentum there. And I think the morale of the squad and the expectations from the fans would have been different. They would have been a bit more excited or a bit more jubilant in terms of the expectation of staying in the league. But right now, I'm not seeing that. And the way they're playing, they lack athleticism in that team. There's not a lot of goals coming in as well. They were heavily reliant on Demarai Gray early this season. He's been in and out of the team due to injury. So yeah, not good times for Everton. But yeah, as a Liverpool fan, we're smiling. So can't argue there. So what I'll do now is I will present my team of the week. So let me share my screen with you guys. And you guys can let me know what you guys think. So here's my team of the week. So I've gone for Day and Goal simply for that worldy save that I mentioned earlier on. That was an unbelievable save. So yeah, I couldn't think of a better goalkeeper during match week 31. So I had to place him there. Doherty as well on the score sheet, 2 assists as well. So yeah, one of his better games for Tottenham this season. So that's why he's my left back in my back four there. Laporte, for me, had a solid performance for City and obviously kept a clean sheet. So that's why he's there. Anderson kept a clean sheet, got a win against Arsenal and provided 2 assists. So great week for Anderson there. And Johnny, who's just returned to injury, has been in good, rich vein of scoring form as well recently. Scored a fantastic goal this weekend with a nice volley, top corner. So that's why I've got him in my team there. Midfield 4, Cornet for me, pivotal in terms of the win last night against Everton. So that's why he's in my team there. Yana, put him as the star of the player. 2 goals against Chelsea and was fantastic overall. So that's why he's got the armband and he's in my team of the week. Thiago, fantastic performance for Liverpool. I think he was just head and shoulders above everyone on that pitch. So that's why I've got him there. And Wimbo as well, providing a system very much causing havoc throughout that whole game. So for me, I had a very positive performance. And up top, you've got Son, who scored as well, but provided a couple of assists to help his team win 5-1. And then you've got Mateta, who's been in good form for Palace recently, got the first opening goal for their win. So that's why he's in my team there as well. So let me know what you guys think about my team selection. I'm sure you might have 1 or 2 disputes of other players that should have been in that team, but happy to hear what you have to say regarding that. Before we conclude, I will reveal our FPL Manager of the Week. So let me just check my score. I didn't have the best of weeks. I think I got 55 points, so not too bad. But in terms of the FPL League for our podcast here, the winner is Muhammad Alham Bayhaki, who actually was the Manager of the Week in our last episode. I think he had 82 points. This week he's got 79. So well done to Muhammad. Another great week for you. Consecutive Manager of the Week titles for you. So you're definitely climbing up the league, even at this late stage. So it's really good. So well done to you regarding that. And that wraps us for today. So thank you to everyone for tuning in. If you're new to the channel or you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. We appreciate all the support. In terms of upcoming content, so I mentioned earlier on, I haven't done much content the last 2 weeks. So let's get the ball rolling and try and do more content for you guys. So we've got a preview episode tomorrow, Liverpool versus Manchester City. I will be reviewing the other Premier League games, but this will be the main focus for obvious reasons. So I will be doing an episode tomorrow evening at 10:30 UK time. So please make sure to tune in. And then on Monday, I host a Instagram live show at 10:30 p.m. called Talk That Talk. So that's for you guys to come on, have your say about the weekend results. I'll give you my thoughts on some of the games, but I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, whether it's good or bad. It's all up in the air for us to talk about. So I'll be happy to have you guys on board. And the next episode will be next Tuesday, 12th of April at 10:30 p.m. UK time. This is where I'll actually give more of an in-depth analysis of the games that would have taken place in match week 32, including the Liverpool Man City game. So, hopefully it's a win for Liverpool. Otherwise, I'll be in a bad mood that day, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that wraps us for today. So thank you for tuning in, guys, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. Take care. Stay safe. Good night.